Is Jada Pinkett Smith's new memoir worthy a flop? Let's talk about it. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on all my social medias, The Pascal Show, one word. Hit that like button down below. And let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube and if you're watching on Facebook. Make sure you crush that follow button on my Facebook page if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Yeah, anyway, we got to jump into this story. Yes, I know we talking about Jada again, but at the same time, I feel like this is a wonderful way to end or at least close the book on the saga of Jada Pinkett Smith. You see what I did there? Now, what's going on is she, of course, has her book out and it's called Worthy. Okay. And a lot of people are wondering if it's really worth it. Okay. And it looks like it's not getting the sales that I'm sure Jada was expecting. And I'll explain that in a second. Now, the thing is, you know, I've read both books. Okay. I've read both Britney Spears' book and Jada's. And I will say this. Okay. Both of them are two completely different people. They have two completely different demographics and two completely different careers. Even the writing is completely different in both books. I will say this. Jada's is thicker than a Snicker. It's long. It's got a lot. It's very flowery, a lot of flowery words, and it is very well written. I will say that, in my personal opinion, it's what she's writing about, or at least, or maybe her ghostwriter is writing about, that I have questions about. Now, Britney Spears' book, easy read. You could blaze through this within a day, really. Okay, you sit down, you can blaze through this within an easy weekend. Okay, casually reading this, you can get through this because of how simply written it is, right? And it's you know, there's a lot. It's stock full with a lot of information. Same thing with Jada's book too. Okay, not sitting here saying that she doesn't come with the info. She does, but it's interesting just the things that are being talked about in her book in comparison to Britney Spears' book. Another thing, like I said before, I feel that Britney Spears' story is being told truthfully. And I feel like a lot of things with Jada's story is, I got questions, y'all. And I think a lot of y'all do too. Hence the reason why they're saying that it's not doing very well out here in these streets. People aren't buying this book. And I think one of the reasons why also is because, hey, she told us everything in all these interviews. She dropped all the bombshells. Instead of keeping things close to the chest, keeping things quiet until the book came out, she went out and she was on every single podcast, interview, so on and so forth, just pushing and dropping bombshell after bombshell after bombshell, to the point where everyone's like, what's the point of buying the book if she already gave us all the hits? But let's get into this article, okay? Let's get into it, okay? Some people are calling this actual book a flop, okay? Now, obviously, there's some reviews on Amazon, and at first, the reviews on Amazon were very, very negative. I will say that at first, but now, because this story has been out for a little bit about this book being a quote-unquote flop, there's been a lot more positive reviews on Amazon speaking up on this book. And I will say, like I said before, it's well written. I will say that, but I'm wondering if the context that she's talking about, the things that she's talking about, how much of the big hits are actually true. And it's only because of the stuff she's been saying out here in all these interviews. It goes against the things that she says in the book a lot of the times, or she keeps changing her narrative in these interviews. So people are now looking at that and, you know, side-eyeing this book like a mug, side-eyeing Jada like a mug. But I digress. Let's get into this, okay? We already know that she's been on a massive media run, okay? If I'm correct, Britney Spears hasn't done nothing in promotion of her book, which is very, very interesting, okay? And that book is selling like crazy. But again, two different women, two completely different genres, two different statuses of fame and all that stuff too. But let's get into this. Overall, it was all because of her brand new memoir, Worthy, which we already know. This memoir that a lot of folks were interested in at first. Okay, of course, it's easy to see why this would be the case. Her relationship with Will Smith has been under the microscope for many years at this point. Moreover, people wanted to know about what happened on the fateful night at the Oscars. Now, I will say this. Yes, all of us wanted to know that because that's literally when she started talking about how she was coming out with a memoir. As soon as the slap happened and how it just took the world by storm, people were talking about it. Even myself, this platform, we were talking about it at great lengths. Okay. We talked about all that. She knew that the world was really responding to that. So, of course, she was riding on the coattails of that and saying, oh, I'm about to write a book. Just so you know, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to bring myself to the book, instead of bring myself to the table. Get it? And I'm going to tell my truth. Okay, cool. Everybody and their mama wanted to know about that. Everybody was really hype about it. And then guess what? You said some things in there, but nothing really was different. But then you're out here in these streets promoting the book, and you're talking completely different. It's aggravating, but let me get into this, okay? In the end, however, Pinkett Smith ended up giving away the premise of her entire book before it even came out. Instead of letting people read the book and come away with their own headlines, Jada gave them to us for free. Consequently, it should come as no real surprise that the sales for the book have not been great. Simply put, people felt they'd read the book already. According to the Neighborhood Talk, the memoir has failed to crack the top 100 on numerous charts, including Kindle e-reader, Barnes and Noble, and Publishers Weekly. Now, I will say this. This came out just the other day, just 2 days ago. And I think things have changed as far as Barnes and Noble saying, like it's not selling and all that. I think things have changed as of recently because people are now going, oh wait, I want to support her. Oh, it's not selling like it's supposed to. Let me get out there and make this and buy this book. Oh, she's getting really crappy reviews. Let me get in there and put in a bunch of other people. Let me get in here and put as many good reviews as I can about this book, because at first that thing was flooded with bad reviews. Okay, but this is according to the Neighborhood Talk here. Okay, so it seems like all that talking Jada Pinkett Smith was doing during her press run didn't pay off after all. Critics are calling her book a quote unquote flop due to its lack of charting across multiple book websites. Newsweek claims that her memoir Worthy hasn't done as well as expected since its October 17th release. On Amazon Books, the world's most popular selling site, according to Statista, Worthy sits at 81 on its bestseller list. I mean, it's still on the bestseller list. It's just not top 10. It even failed to make the top 100 on Kindle e-reader chart, or on the Kindle e-reader chart, where it had only sold 2,700 copies by the end of last week. Over on Barnes and Noble and the Publishers Weekly list, Worthy has not cracked the top 100 either. And this is as of 2 days ago when this article was written. A lot of things can change, okay? But still, people are saying this is not doing very well. Customer reviews have varied for the book, with some readers loving it and some readers calling it dull. A reviewer said, I pre-ordered this book and I'm not the least bit disappointed. Okay, this is good. I've been a fan of Jada Pinkett Smith since her time on A Different World. The book gets to the heart of who she is and how she became that way. As a Black woman, this book is relatable. A very good read. That's what one reviewer said. I can't believe how dull, flat, and just plain uninteresting this memoir was, another said. I read mostly biography, almost never fiction. I watched all episodes of Red Table Talk, so was looking forward to this book. There is nothing new here, and it's not even well written. You can skip this book. I applaud the effort in the writing and telling of a personal journey. That's what one person said as well. Okay. Based on the reviews from people who also did read the book, the content isn't all that much better. Some claim that the stories were told in a boring fashion. Moreover, there were others who felt like the entire catalog of the episodes of Red Table Talk does a better job of explaining who Jada Pinkett Smith is. Needless to say, nothing here was a real cosign for the book. If you were thinking of picking up the book, it seems like you might just come away feeling a bit disappointed. I will say this. I read the book, as you guys already know. I think it is well written. I know some people are saying it's not really well written. I think it's well written. I do think, though, it's more worried about being well written than actually getting to the facts and getting to the story, to the telling of the story, keeping the reader engaged and interested, keeping it entertaining. And I'm not sitting here saying that her stories aren't entertaining. It just comes off, like they said, a little dry. They say dull. I say it just comes off a little dry. But that's how everyone tells their story in their own way. I'm not going to sit here and say that, like, say, Britney Spears' book is any better. I mean, shoot, hers is very simple and simply read. It's almost like reading a journal in a way, a diary, right? And she gets straight to her information. It's very short and sweet, but it's not well written, I'll say. You see what I'm saying? So it's two completely different styles. It's very interesting. Jada's book, the only reason why I feel some type of way about the book is because of her out here in these streets going crazy, talking wild on the microphones and saying all these different things. One moment she's saying one thing, the next minute she's changing the narrative and saying something else. You know, we've already talked about the two Today Show interviews. One, she's like, yeah, we're apart. The next one, she's like, she comes back on to change the narrative again. She's going on all these interviews saying, oh no, it wasn't my idea to change the narrative on the entanglement. It was Will's situation. You read it in the book. You see what I'm saying? There's so much going on where she has changed the narrative and changed the story to the point where you're going, well, am I really reading a true memoir, or am I reading something that somebody wrote to make them sound good, but they can't even stay with the truth? You see what I'm saying? They can't even stay with the actual facts of the book that they actually wrote. It's weird to me. It's like, did you remember what you wrote in the book? You should remember it backwards and forwards. You wrote it, right? Or at least you co-wrote it with your ghostwriter, so you know exactly what the bullet points are and where the hits are, right? But that's the problem. So it's two different things. And I'm not trying to compare one with the other. I'm really not. They're two drastically different books. But at the same time, one person didn't go all over the place talking crazy and saying giving the end of the movie away, okay, in every interview. And another person did exactly that. And now you have a book that's sold like crazy. You know, the Britney Spears book is selling like crazy. And Worthy is not doing as well because everyone's like, yo, you said everything already. Also, you're still trashing Will. That's what the vibe, at least the court of public opinion. The streets are talking. The streets are like, yo, quit bashing your man. Your dude, your life partner. Quit bashing him. So I think a lot of people are feeling some type of way about that. They feel like they're getting bamboozled. They feel like they're getting swindled in some sort of way to buy a book that may not be true. And another thing I will say, there is such thing as too much publicity. Think about that for a second. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Did you read the book? That's the question I'd like to know. Did you read the book, or are you still interested in going and buying the book? I'm telling you right now, there's been enough information out here in these streets in which you don't need to buy any book. You just need to read all the articles and listen to a few videos on this platform and many others where we basically give you the whole entire book for the most part. If you piece it all together from all the articles and all the videos that are out here talking and commenting on Jada Pinkett Smith's memoir, you got the book. You already got the book. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button. Crush that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that follow button on Facebook if you're watching over there as well. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family on both platforms. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.